Can I come in? Yeah, I know I probably should have asked before I let myself in, but I'm asking now, so let's not get bogged down by the technicalities. Thanks. Hmm? What? Did you think I wanted to borrow your Switch? I got my own after you kept complaining about how much I'd steal it every time I wanted to play Pokemon, remember? No, We haven't done this in a while, have we? What with all the business trips you've been going on and me applying to new jobs and doing interviews after interviews. Yeah, I've heard back from a few, but I honestly don't think I'm gonna take any of them. Well, there is a benefit of being a party girl, you know? You hear a lot of crazy stories, so you inadvertently know which opportunities to avoid and which ones to jump at. Mm-hmm. There is one I'm waiting to hear back from that I'm quite excited for. Mm. It's for a travel agency. They're recruiting people to scout out locations across the world for their tour packages and such. I've been waiting for the opportunity to go traveling ever since graduating, so the thought of being paid to do so, well, it sounds incredibly appealing to me. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's legit. A friend of mine recommended it to me, which is how I heard about it in the first place. And what about you? You've been to so many places within the last few months. Which one was your favorite? Nice, but it's definitely more for people who like nature, so definitely not for me. Well, I mean, don't get me wrong, I do love going on walks and such through hiking trails and wooded areas from time to time, but I think I like modern conveniences more than I do hiking trails. There aren't that many big cities there, right? Well, maybe for a weekend getaway. Speaking of which, we should plan one. Mm-hmm. I have a few more paid vacation days that I need to use, and considering how you almost never take a day off from work, I'm assuming you have quite a few hours you can cash in, right? Why don't we go somewhere? Somewhere that's a good mix between the nature you thrive in and the city I'm used to. Compromising or whatever. It sounds amazing. No, now that you brought it up, I've never been. What? I told you, I'm a city girl through and through, and besides, kind of impossible to have a beach when we live at the base of a huge mountain range. Yeah, maybe we can go to one and see what all the fuss is about. Have you been? Did you like it? Yeah, that's true. What's not to like about beaches? White grains of sand beneath your feet, warming you up from the outside in, under the hot sun, whilst the waves crash into rocks. It sounds amazing. Unless there are a lot of people there, which in that case, ew. Hmm? Nothing ever gets past you, does it? Yeah, I had a glass before heading to bed. Stress from the job hunting is all. No, nothing went wrong at the gym per se, but I just don't see myself working there for the rest of my life, you know? I mean, I love my coworkers and I love my clients, but I've been there for, what, 4 years now? I think it's time for a change. don't you? You were already asleep when I started, which is why I only had a glass. Didn't really feel like finishing an entire bottle by myself, no matter how much I wanted to. Yeah, that probably was a good idea. I don't have work tomorrow, but downing an entire bottle will get me wasted. Hey, you try downing an entire bottle of wine and tell me you wouldn't absolutely get wasted. Oh, you have now, have you? And when was this? And why wasn't I invited? Yeah, fair enough. I'd do the same if I were in your position. We still have basically an entire bottle left. We can share it, if you want. Okay, I'll go grab it. Stay here. Here. Cheers. Nothing, it's just, this reminds me of the night we met. For some reason, I decided to go to a house party Vanessa was throwing, despite not being all too close with her at the time. She was definitely the most normal of the group. Didn't really go to too many parties, and she kept to herself, so for her to throw one was a huge surprise. It definitely wasn't a rager, that's for sure, but it was still fun. Anyway, I remember wanting to get out of a conversation I was having, so I made my way into the kitchen and I saw you going through her wine stash that she didn't hide all too well under her counter. I laughed and asked if it was alright if I joined you, and you, very hesitantly, acquiesced. We shared that bottle of Cabernet and downed nearly half a charcuterie board together. I didn't even like Cabernet. I just wanted to get to know you. Yeah, I like it a lot now because of that night. Now, if only we had some cheese. Maybe it's the alcohol talking. Or maybe it's because we've gone through so much together and done so much together that I finally have the courage to say this, but I want to know you for the rest of my life. For the rest of our lives. I want to keep getting to know you. I want to know you now, and get to know the you that's to come. Isn't that silly? I mean, we're basically domestic partners at this point, even though we never fully talked about it or established the actual title or anything, but I just... Yeah. Kind of hard to know when the lines between us are so blurred. But I think we can do something to unblur that, no? Do you? Would you? Yes. I'd love for us to be partners. Officially.